I'm Heartbreaking Howard.
And a Big Daddy Chris.
And all the SlaMMA Nation
turning into season.
We got passion for MMA.
And we ain't afraid to show it.
We're SlaMMA and we know it. We're SlaMMA and we know it.
Welcome to another edition of SlaMMA. I'm Big Daddy Chris.
And I am Heartbreaking Howie.
And tonight we're going to cover UFC on Fuel TV.
This is our 11th episode. If you haven't seen yet, we recommend going back and watching the SlaMMA Awards. Those will be up and those will be epic for the rest of time. But as Chris mentioned, this show is mainly to cover the UFC on Fuel TV event. This is actually the first event of a 7-year deal that UFC has signed with Fuel TV.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I wish we could have drove to this one. This one's in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, not too far away. Yeah, we should have.
I just found out there's 2 nuclear power plants right
Ooh, man.
Omaha about an hour ago.
The only bad thing about Fuel TV is if you have Comcast, unfortunately, you do not yet have that channel. So what you can do to try to get that channel is write to or call up Comcast and just say, hey, I want this channel. But if you do have DirecTV, it is channel 618 in the Denver local area, and the actual event itself is going to start at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think the prelims will probably start around 3 or 4.
Yep, and they'll be on Facebook.
Also, I just want to say, if you do decide to get DirecTV, if you mention me, I'd greatly appreciate it because I get money off of my bill for that.
That's right. Big Daddy Chris. Well, you want to say Chris Martinez, not Big Daddy Chris.
Yeah, either way. Anyways, I just want to give a real quick rundown of last week's main event, which was Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit.
Oh, man.
Went to a 5-round decision, which I thought Carlos Condit won 3 of the 5 rounds.
It seemed like that. I mean,
it was really close to the side, but I think he did the perfect game plan to beat either Diaz brother.
Well, up until that point,
stick and move.
Yeah, up until that point, everyone just basically stood there and took the shots, and he eluded him. He was, as people said, he was kind of running, but it wasn't he was just running the entire time. He connected. If you looked at the fight matrix, he connected with way more strikes than Diaz did. So
yeah, I think he was just in and out, and always moving, constant. It's kind of like a Frankie Edgar type fight.
Yeah, for sure.
So congrats, Carlos Condit, on your win.
He's the new interim. Well, we'll stress that interim welterweight champion until GSP gets back.
I think he's a champion.
That remains to be seen.
I mean, GSP didn't lose, but he's hurt.
It's true.
Eventually he'll fight, so it's just going to be title versus title. So.
Exactly.
All right, so the UFC is going to start the preliminary card on Facebook. It's kind of been going on lately. Let's hope they just get back on that Fuel and stay on Fuel, because I liked it. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so the first fight of the night, they're going to have Tim Dirty Bird Means, who's 16-3-1,
wow.
Who's fighting Bernardo Treco Magalhães, who's 11-1.
So pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, Magalhães is a submission specialist, so let's see what happens with that fight.
From what I understand, he's got some pretty good ground and pound too. So should be great.
The other guy's got a pretty big heart.
That's true.
So he's got pretty good cardio, so it's going to be a good fight.
Exactly.
I want to see how that fight goes out.
So the next fight is actually a lightweight battle, and it's going to see Anton Kuvanin take on Justin J-Bomb Salas. Kuvanin is 16-4, and Salas is 9-3. We've got a guy in Kuvan he's physically and mentally tough. He's got some good speed, and he's just overall a pretty well-rounded fighter. Whereas Salas is a good striker, a wrestler, has a lot of stamina, so this one should be a pretty evenly matched contest as well.
Yeah, Salas is a local guy, too.
Yeah, we hear about him quite a bit.
He just signed a new guy with the UFC, so let's see how that works out.
Exactly. Wish him the best.
The next fight is a middleweight fight, which is Buddy Roberts, who's 11-2. He's a pretty well-rounded fighter. He's going to be taking on Sean the Destroyer Loeffler, I believe.
Waffler?
Who's Loeffler? I don't know. All right. Sorry if I just butchered your name. But anyways, he's got pretty good KO powers. He's pretty good on the ground. He's 25-5, so it's pretty long.
30 fights. That's a lot.
UFC fight here. So see what happens.
All right. So the next one is a featherweight bout, seeing Jonathan Brookins taking on Wagner Roca. Now, Brookins is the former champion of the Ultimate Fighter show. 8 of his wins come by submission, whereas Roca, he's got about 5 submissions, and his last submission victory came over Cody McKenzie, who kind of is known for being the guillotine guy, I guess. So, I mean, this could be a ground war where these guys are just jockeying for position, seeing who can make the other one tap.
Yeah, Brookins has got tons of talent.
Oh, yeah.
Rocha's pretty good, too, so it's pretty good fight.
Exactly.
The next fight we have is a bantamweight fight, which is Ivan Menjivar, who's 23-8, who's a great all-around fighter, who's fighting John Prince Albert, who's 7-1, who's he's a pretty strong guy. He's a good wrestler. So let's see what happens.
These little guys at 135 pounds, they tend to put on a good show.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see if let's hope for a good fight.
All right. Well, right now we're going to take a look at the WTF Moment of the Week. It's a segment that we did before. We're bringing it back. And ironically
got a lot of good things about that. So
yeah, exactly.
Let's do it. So here it is, guys.
The WTF Moment of the Week.
What the?
All right, so the WTF Moment of the Week is this whole Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz situation. Is Diaz retired? Is he not retired? Are they going to fight? Are they not going to fight? What's really going on here? I really don't know. Today has been kind of crazy.
You know what? We're not getting paid enough to do this.
Yeah,
we quit.
I'm just going to quit too.
Yeah,
why would I quit? I thought it was a great fight. He's a great fighter. He's in the prime of his career. This is the best time
you win some, you lose
he's ever had. Some. Everybody loses. You know, it's just going to make him a better fighter. He's going to, he found out a weakness that he has, and he's going to solve it, and he's going to take care of business. I think. GSP said he still wants to fight Diaz. Poor Carlos Condit is kind of stuck here.
He's still. I mean, he is the
he's
interim champ.
Interim champ.
You know, and I think.
But GSP said he would give up his title just to fight Diaz.
It's crazy.
So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's a circus.
This whole situation is all brought because of Nick Diaz's crybaby fits. So
I think a lot of people thought too that if Condit won, it would silence the whole GSP and Diaz situation.
Right.
But we're right back where we started. We've made no progress with this title fight. Condit's got a belt around his waist, and it's like it doesn't even matter because of all this drama.
You know, and this is what it's kind of made me think too. I don't know how anyone else feels about this, but it seems like all Nick Diaz has to do is throw a crybaby fit, and you get what you want. So exactly. I guess. If you're in the UFC and your name is UFC fighter or whatever you want to be, if you throw a good enough crybaby fit, maybe you'll get a title shot.
That's very true.
Or if you talk a lot of trash, and that could get you a title shot too. So I guess maybe people should talk.
Any more guys are just calling each other out too. So deciding their own fights, it almost seems.
It's kind of weird that he's getting this. It's like Nick Diaz is pretty much getting whatever he wants right now. So this whole situation, I guess, is just the WTF moment of the week.
Exactly. So hopefully it'll get all sorted out. Hopefully in time we'll find out the specifics of what's going to happen, who's going to fight who's retiring, who's not retiring, who's going to go box or become a dirt bike rider or something.
Well, he's under contract, so if he
can't do anything else, right?
He's going to have to wait till that's over.
Exactly.
So that was before we get to the live main card, we're going to take a real quick break here and check out our new sponsor. Tell us what you think.
Alrighty.
Hey, you! Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. Do you ever feel like your Wii lacks adequate protection, if you know what I mean? Go ahead and check. Come on, be honest. Well, go ahead and take it out then. Oh, don't be shy. Just do it. Come on. See, doesn't that feel better? Don't be so sad, because all you need is the Wii-Gi. That's right, the Wii-Gi. Now that you have the Wii-Gi, you'll have the protection not only that you want, but that you can be proud of. You can be impressed with the performance of the Wii. For first-time users of the Wii, you will have a white belt. That will eventually work its way up through the levels until you've reached a black belt in Cocktaillian Jiu-Jitsu. You must know that accessories are sold separately, and you can get this deal for $19.95. Call now!
Okay, welcome back to SlaMMA. Hope you guys liked our new sponsor that we have going on. I think it's a pretty good sponsor.
Exactly. You know, when you're a SlaMMA award-winning show, you can get sponsors quite like that one there.
Yeah, we won multiple awards. If I did say so myself, this is a pretty popular show.
Exactly. We don't like to brag or toot our own horns, but toot. I mean, the SlaMMA doesn't lie.
How many shows out there got one of these bad boys?
Exactly. As far as I know, only one.
Yeah.
SlaMMA.
$1.
Okay, so we're going to start the main card, which is going to be on Field TV at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, that is. First fight of the night on that card is going to, on the main card is going to be a bantamweight fight with TJ Dillashaw, who's from The Ultimate Fighter. 5-1, suffered his first loss in the tough finale. He's fighting Walal the Gazelle Watson, who's 9-3. He's pretty good at jiu-jitsu, and both just fought in December, so it's a quick turnaround for him.
Just under 2 months, actually, for both of these guys. So it's a quick turnaround, like you said. So the next fight is it's a heavyweight battle, and it's going to see Stipe Miocic, probably butchered out now, and he's taking on Phil DeFries. Miocic is 7-0, and he's a really fast guy, and 5 of his wins come by knockout. Whereas DeFries is more of a grappler, and he's got 7 submission wins of his 8 total wins. So
classic striker versus grappler.
Exactly. We'll see what happens. We'll see which of those two styles come to head in this fight.
So we got Aaron Simpson, who's 10-2, who is a very good wrestler. He's taking on Ronnie Marks, who's 12-1 with 5 KOs and 4 submissions. He's a very explosive fighter.
Yeah, very even.
Aaron Simpson's kind of up and down guy. Seems to have cardio problems from time to time, but he moved into that top competition of the middleweight division. So let's see how this fight breaks down.
All right. The next fight is another heavyweight fight. This one sees Stefan Skyscraper Struve, who's 25-5, taking on Dave Pee Wee Herman, who's 21-2. So the interesting thing I saw about this fight when I was researching is Struve has 15 submission wins and 5 knockouts, whereas Dave Herman has 15 knockout wins and 5 submissions. So I was like, they're kind of exactly the opposite of each other, you know?
Yeah, I gotta say my all-time favorite Herman knockout was in Dream, when that guy was, I don't remember who he was fighting, but he was like, guy was going for a leg lock and then he just kicked him from,
Was that one? The one where he kicked him while they were on the ground? Oh,
knocked him out.
I might have to throw in a picture of that just so people can see. That was pretty amazing.
A clip of that, that'd be pretty awesome.
And I don't know if you could do that with Stefan Struve, because Struve is so long and lanky.
Right,
so
Struve's coming off a good win.
Yeah.
Herman coming off of a win defeating John blah, 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 the guy from Golden Glory that just lost last week. He tested positive for marijuana, got everything cleared up, so he's good to go. Smoking a little bit of that reefer.
In Colorado?
Actually, he wasn't smoking the reefer. I'm sorry, buddy. His friends were smoking it around.
Right. Contact time.
Maybe in like this vicinity here, as close as I am to the screen here.
Whoa.
I don't know, but either way, glad to see him back because he's definitely a pretty good fighter. This is going to be a good Kona main event, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's going to be, I think these guys are probably going to pound each other. Stand-up war, I guess.
Exactly.
So in the main event is Diego the Dream.
Not the Nightmare anymore.
No, a.k.a. the Nightmare in retirement. Sanchez, who's 25-4. All his losses are against top competition.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler. Well, great. He's a pretty good wrestler. Now that we're starting to see a lot of these top-level wrestlers in there, I think he's kind of realized where he fits in this mix.
Exactly.
Last
fight was his first fight at 170, wasn't it?
Back at 170, because he moved down to 155. He looked really drained.
Man. That was in March of last year, too. So
yeah, his last fight, it's been almost a year since he's fought Martin Kamen, which was a battle. A lot of people thought he lost that fight. it was hard to say if he'd won it or not, but he came out on top in a split decision.
Can't let it go to the judges. Yeah,
No,
we've seen that a lot lately.
No. So Diego Sanchez, everybody knows him as the first Ultimate Fighter winner. Even he won it before Forrest Griffin did, so he's originally the first winner. He's taking on Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
You see the X-Men, right?
He's 26-5. Hits like a freight truck. He's a pretty solid wrestler. He's got a pretty hard chin. He just came off of the first guy to knock out top contender Jake Shields, which surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think Jake Shields was going through a lot of problems at that time with his father passing away. And his only loss in the last fights was actually to the current welterweight champion.
Yeah, and that was actually in his UFC debut, so he's been on a
that was
fight
good, and that was a split decision too.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
either way, I know Condit definitely wants to fight again.
Exactly.
So I believe, if from my understanding is correct, if Ellenberger wins this fight, he's the number one contender, and he's going to get a title shot against Condit if Diaz stays retired or whatever he's doing.
Exactly. Well, and the other thing, too, is if Diego wins this fight, it's going to kind of shoot him up the ranks a little bit, too. He might not be ready for a title shot quite yet.
Yeah, it'll get him back. He was always right up there.
Yeah.
He's pretty close. I mean, just a couple of years ago, he was fighting for the 155 title, so moving.
And you got Koscheck back up in the mix, too.
Yeah, Koscheck is probably ready to go. Johnny Hendricks is right up there now after his knockout over Fitch, which was shocking to a lot of people.
Yeah, that's even more shocking than when Ellenberger knocked out Shields, I think. Nobody was expecting Fitch to go out that quickly, even.
I'm big on Hendricks. I think this is one of the guys of the future.
Exactly.
Future of the division. He's a great wrestler.
He might be the SlaMMA award winner for Breakout Star of the Year next year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows? He could get a title shot by the end of this year. See what happens.
These guys,
Who knows what's going on with GSP? His knees are jacked. Who knows if he's ever going to be the same again? All I do know is he wants to kill McDiaz.
Exactly. And like you mentioned before, he said that he potentially is willing to give up his title in order to get that shot. That's
so.
pretty
What if
big.
he did retire? Then GSP will never get to fight that guy.
Unless they meet in a dark alley somewhere. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, guys, this is going to be a great card coming up. It's another free one. UFC's bringing them out almost every week. Well, we're going to wrap this show up by saying go watch UFC on Fuel like we've been telling you this whole episode. We obviously told you it was a good card. It's going to be on February 15th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time on Fuel.
That's channel 618, right?
On DirecTV.
On DirecTV.
I don't know what it is on anything else. Obviously, Comcast
We'll have to look up your local provider.
Comcast needs to get with the program. If not, definitely go through me when it comes to signing up for DirecTV.
Exactly.
The picture's clear, in my opinion.
It really is. They've got good HD channels, and it's good times. Whenever I want to watch the fights, I come over to Big Daddy Chris's house because I have Comcast. And
really thinking about buying a 3D emitter and watching the next one in 3D.
Man, with our glasses on, be looking funky fresh. Yeah. That's right.
We'll
have our SlaMMA award sitting right next to us.
We're going to have to tell all guests they have to buy their own 3D glasses.
Exactly. Well, not that bad. So.
I don't know how much they are. But we'll find out.
We'll Google it. We'll find out. Yeah. So we'd really appreciate it if you haven't yet, if you like our Facebook page, tell all your friends to like our Facebook page. We're up to 115 now, which is pretty big because we just barely got to 100, and now it seems like things are kind of picking up a little bit. We want to get to 150 or 200 or more than that. We also have a Twitter account you can follow us at. Our Facebook page is Facebook.com/SlaMMA.TV.
.tv. Facebook.com/.tv.
It's an awesome page.
With the .com.
With the .com somewhere in there. And you also want to go check out the video that'll be directly below this one on our YouTube page, which is, of course...
SlaMMA Awards. You'll have a great time watching.
Yeah. Every single person I know that has watched it thus far, some, 40 or 50 people, has been entertained. And they say that they laugh their asses off the entire time they're watching it.
Yeah, it was funny. I had a great time.
A lot of fun.
There. I'm glad we got invited to this year's
I know, man.
awards.
Traffic was a little rough, with all the paparazzi hanging around, but we were able to get it taken care of, so...
Yeah, I'm just was amazed at how good that show was.
I know.
Had a great time. They treated us well.
The production value was just, without a doubt, the best I've ever seen.
Amazing.
I can't wait to go back next year. There's already talks that they might be having it at Sports Authority Field at Mile High, just because so many people want to go and attend this event. So I'd be for it, and hopefully we get invited back. Hopefully we're nominated for some more awards.
I hope so too.
Yeah. So.
Don't forget this weekend, Rocky Mountain Bad Boys at the Grizzly Roast.
Yep.
How
How do they get a cage in that place? You know what?
I've never been to the Grizzly
I was
Roast.
gonna say, man. After that show we went to at the Paramount Theater, where they had the cage on the stage,
That was cool.
They could put a cage anywhere. You know?
That was cool.
You could put a cage in your backyard.
Don't forget, we had an interview with Jeremy Kimball.
Yeah, we're gonna get that posted.
New middleweight fight to win champion. We just got to get everything organized, and we'll get that up.
We've got some more interviews on the horizon we're working on. We're also, as always, working on the web page, and you might have seen on the SlaMMA page that we're considering venturing into the internet radio spectrum.
Some talk about getting on this radio thing. We'll see maybe how it works out in the next.
Let us know what you think. If you'd support that, if you'd listen to us weekly.
It's not. We can archive it and you can download it.
Exactly.
And listen to it
You don't have to be listening to it. You could probably set up something where we podcast it on iTunes too.
Yeah, iTunes.
Yeah.
Ustream. You can watch us like this live.
Exactly.
And then listen to
these gorgeous faces here.
It all depends on you guys what you want, and it depends on what we want too, I guess.
Let us know how you like the new backdrop too. It's a work in progress. We basically just changed the color, but we've got some ideas on how we're going to change up the appearance of it.
Right. I don't know if you guys remember a couple of months ago when we had the contest of the new background color. Well, blue won it. By the way.
It was landslide. Yeah. Man. And it looks good. I think it makes us stand out a little bit here, you know. We can wear black T-shirts now, not worry about looking like a couple heads sitting here, you know.
Well, I guess that's our show for...
That's it. Yeah, join us. Watch this episode. We'll be back again with episode 12, where I believe we'll be covering UFC Japan.
Yeah, 143.
Thank you, everyone.
44, sorry.
We'll see you around town.
Or should we just call it UFC right now?
UFC Japan, it's easier. Yeah.
Ben Henderson versus Frankie Edgar. That's going to be a fight, man.
New champ.
I was thinking that, but you know what? I will never bet against Frankie Edgar again.
I would never bet against Ben Henderson, so we'll...
Yeah. unless Frankie Edgar can come out with an off-the-cage kick, who knows what's going to happen.
Exactly. And even if he did, he might only hit Henderson in the chest, because he's kind of a little guy, so...
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for watching. www.facebook.com/SlaMMA.tv and on Twitter @SlaMMA.
SlaMMA TV.
We're out of here.
Adios, amigos. SlaMMA Award. And good night. We're SlaMMA and we know it. You guys want to try it? Maybe we should put like